I'm not going to even tell you because that's even more embarrassing. Let me introduce to you the one and only, the Mace! Woo!
My character as a kid grew up in the Bronx watching wrestling on television, and he comes to grow up and realize his childhood dream of becoming a professional wrestler at the highest level. But there's a slight wrinkle. He ends up being, he's very good at wrestling, and they use that talent to help him develop other fighters. So he ends up being the guy who loses to make guys that they want to be winners look great.
My character is this big megastar, superstar wrestler, and pretty much he has all the money. He has the jewels. He has the the big fan base.
So Chad Deity's boy, Derek Jeter, looked over to Chad Deity and said, "Chad Deity, you are the champion and the ladies man and the media icon that I've always wanted to be." So Chad Deity looked over to his boy Derek Jeter and said, "Chad Deity knows, Derek Jeter. Chad Deity knows."
He's just an a-hole to clean it up. But it's it's fun though.
The play belongs to Mace. Even though it's called The Elaborate Interest of Chad Deity, it's really Mace's story. It's really his. It's him sharing this journey that he goes through that takes us not only through the world of professional wrestling, but also through this I think this realization of how kind of present, both consciously and subconsciously, cultural and racial stereotypes are in our contemporary entertainment today. I think they're, sometimes it's really obvious, and other times it's really not obvious and subtle. And so I think this play does a good job of reminding us of them.
That's why Chad Deity is more important to Everett K. Olsen than Macedonio Guerra is.
Whoa. That's not your name.
In V Wrestling, I'm known as the Mace.
Yeah, the other name is too hard to pronounce.
For white people.
I can't pronounce it.
For non-Spanish speaking Americans?
No. For wrestling fans. Wrestling fans do not speak Spanish.
This play is just not. It's not about just wrestling. This play it's a message, and it's a message that it's pretty much what we're going through. In America. It's a story about how things need to get changed, and in a society. And how a lot of racism still occur. I mean, we've come a long way within these last few decades, but I would say that after the audience watch this play, I think that it will kind of open up their eyes a little bit more.
I do think it's a very different sort of an audience experience than what is in store for a lot of plays. It's very interactive. Audience is really actually another character in the show, and I think in that way it's very timely, because I think there are a lot of things these days where participation is really important, and this particular show gives audiences a chance to be active in the event as opposed to just passive. So there's that. I think there's also just this really interesting intersection of sports and live theater, particularly in this case live wrestling and live theater, and it's really fascinating. I think how much overlap and how many threads there are between those two things that seem on the surface so very different, and are very different in many ways, but also have a lot of similarities that I think are pretty interesting. Theatergoers are surprised at what a great play it actually is. And they come in thinking it's just about wrestling, but it's really this really incredibly moving and thoughtful story. And then wrestling fans come in and they say, "Oh wow, yeah, this is kind of cool." It's not everybody in powdered wigs and speaking in a different kind of vernacular. It's like this is their world, and the wrestling fans that I know that have come to see the show so far have really been impressed at at what the designers and the cast have done to really recreate that world that they're so familiar with and so engaged in.
Let's go to the videotape. You see, when Chad Deity power bombs me, and it's happened a lot over the years, I allow myself to be bent over with my head between his legs. I jump up in the air when he pretends to pick me up. I bend my body in half and sit straight up and elevate myself into position on his shoulder.
Then Chad Deity takes over.
He falls forward.
That's my part.
He doesn't even do that too good.
We have worked as hard as we can to make this show something that's going to be exciting and it's going to make you laugh. Yeah, it's going to make you think, but it's not going to be oppressive. It's going to be fun.